Hey guys, Nathan Brennan Masters, and this is r/glitch in the Matrix. I know you guys have missed me. A lot of you said, hey, when are you coming back with Glitch in the Matrix? Well, here it is. I've had like a ton of stuff to do, and there's been like a lot of stuff I've been looking into and things like that. So, I'm back now, and I heard Leafy was permanently banned. Leafy is here was permanently banned, and that was kind of a blow to me because it was starting to feel like old school YouTube again. Him being here was very inspirational to me. Even I started doing a little bit of commentary again. That's how I started doing the rabbit hole videos, which I do uh, plan to keep doing. But it was, I guess, kind of just felt like old school YouTube was kind of coming back. But alas, they made sure that you knew, no, you ain't getting it back. So here we are. But you still have me, and you still have r/glitch in the Matrix. This is actually a painting of zombie girl standing in a graveyard. This is actually in Hexcraft Mechanics issue 1, and I believe somebody bought the original piece. But I do still have the second page, so if anybody's interested, you can hit me up and we can talk about price. But let's jump into it, guys. r/glitch in the Matrix. The first story is titled Strange Thing Happened When I Woke Up, and it's posted by user Dallas Savage 007. Curious if anyone has ever had anything similar to this happen to them. I will start out by saying I have never, that I know of, had any issues with sleep paralysis and really no past history with nightmares. Last week I woke up at 3:40 a.m. and was basically jolted awake. As soon as I woke up, I could see very thick smoke throughout my bedroom and could smell what smelled like my home on fire. It was a very horrible fire smoke smell, and of course I panicked and got up quickly, thinking I better locate the dog and cat and get out. As soon as I got out of bed and made my way through the foggy smoke to the light switch to try and see somewhat better, I turned the light on and immediately there was no smoke at all, and the horrible smell that I had just experienced very, very strongly was gone. I checked the entire house and all was good. Needless to say, I couldn't sleep the rest of the night, but it's still bugging me as to what happened. I told a few people about it, and they said it was probably just a dream. But I know what I saw and smelled upon waking up before the light was turned on. Very strange. So let me know in the comment section, guys, if you've experienced anything like this. This wasn't sleep paralysis because she was up walking around. There's some suggestions in the comment section. People are saying things like it could have been a severe migraine or possibly the remnant of a dream. OP doesn't say whether they were on any kind of medication or anything, so we can't, nothing to go from there. So on to the next one, posted by user Jake from State Farm 23. And this is a short one. It's simply titled Turning Off Street Lights by Simply Walking or Driving Under Them. This is something that has been happening to me for years and years. I will walk under a street light and it will immediately turn off. If I continue past it, maybe 5 feet, it'll come back on. I've had this happen in a line before. I walk under a light and it'll turn off, then back on. Walk under another 30 or 40 feet away, and the same thing happens. The same thing will happen when I'm driving also. I originally thought maybe my headlights were aimed wrong until I realized it happens in every car I'm in. Family and friends have both witnessed it. Has anyone else experienced it? Now, this is something called SLI, street light interference. And this is, some people claim that when they walk under street lights, they go off every time they walk under it. And then, like this guy says, he walks away and it comes back on. Now, these people are called sliders. And in fact, and it's usually sliders spelled capital SLI and then the rest of the word. But there are videos and things about this on YouTube. In fact, there's some people who claim that they're showcasing their ability to do this. And I don't even know if you could call this an ability. I don't know if they're, well, I guess, if you were somebody who, for whatever reason, needed to disrupt electronics, this would be an ability you could use, but it seems to be only very specific electronics, street lights, and watches, from what I hear. And as a matter of fact, there are people in the comment section talking about that. And one person said that their mom has that where she can't wear watches because it, obviously interferes with the watch. So you need to get Professor X in there to hone those abilities. But this is a thing that people claim that they have power, if you want to call it power ability, that people claim that they have. So it is a thing. And like I said, there are people on right here on YouTube who've made videos claiming to show this ability off. So the next post is by user WVPrepper. I died, only I didn't. This happened a long time ago. I would say 1987. I was driving, had a passenger in the car, and no drugs or alcohol were involved. I was driving on a major highway which had 4 lanes each way with the wide median. I was in the right lane, signaled for an upcoming exit on the right, and proceeded onto the ramp, which led to a higher speed interstate road. Suddenly, an 18-wheeler on my left moved into my lane and attempted to take the exit. He slammed into the side of my car, sideswiping me. I managed to hold the road and got up the ramp where I motioned for him to pull over to the shoulder. The side of my car was demolished, and a lot of the plastic parts on the front, including my headlights, were gone. I was so angry. My passenger got out, and I followed him as my door wouldn't open. But that's not much of a story, is it? Nobody died. Boo hiss. Patience, children. I was not about to let this guy get away with trashing my car and driving away, never considering that he might not have seen or even felt me there and had no idea he'd caused an accident, and stumped up to the line between traffic and the shoulder to tell him so. There I was, right beside a busy highway, standing by his door, gesturing for him to get out and take responsibility, just screaming my full head off. The driver began to open his door, and in my blind anger, I stepped back so the door could open, and this happened. And the OP has a link to a scene from Final Destination where the woman steps off the curb and she's hit by a bus. I felt a huge gust of wind blow through me and looked left to see the back end of a huge truck. Nothing really clicked about that right away. I just had a tingly feeling and assumed it was from adrenaline. The driver of the truck that caused the whole thing stepped down, white as a sheet, and shaking. He looked terrified, so I assumed he felt guilty and knew he was caught, and was worried about the repercussions. We began to discuss the particulars of the accident, and he called a dispatcher out on his radio, as there were no cell phones, saying that he'd never have changed lanes without looking to get to an exit ramp. I pointed out the distinctive paint color of the truck on my car and was assured by his supervisor that it would be handled. A friend came to get my passenger and I. He, passenger, was looking at me very strangely the whole way home and was very quiet. Later that night he said, "You died. I saw you die today. The truck hit you when you stepped in front of it. How did you not die? That I am alive today is indisputable. I did not die. But how I didn't die is something I will always wonder. Glitch in the Matrix? I wasn't familiar with the term at the time, but it's the only viable explanation." So there's a few stories like this where people think that they have died, and for some reason they didn't die. Like in that instance, they should have died, but they made it out. So this is one of those stories. Again, you guys know I like it when there's multiple people there, when there's not just a person, but it's a friend. In this story, the friend actually brings up the idea that, hey, you were hit by a truck out there, you should have died. So very interesting. And last story today will be a duplicate of a toy belonging to my now deceased dog has appeared as my current dog is playing with it. And this is by user SDL09. And it goes, so if you Google BarkBox Toy Bouquet, it'll show you a 4-piece flower bouquet. I received this in 2015-2016 from my now passed on dog Olive. I kept some of her toys and recently adopted a new dog named Sam. Before I get into this, I must say the bouquet is sewn together. I separated the flowers as I thought it would be more fun to play with, but the toy as a whole would be the flower bouquet. So I decorate Sam's crate with these flowers and he pulls them through and plays with them and whatnot. The other day I was cleaning my trunk and found the tulip belonging to what I thought was the original bouquet. When I found it, my heart kind of dropped because I know I wouldn't have taken the flowers out of the house as Sam has his house toys and his outside toys. No one has access to my car, and again, this toy was from the Bark Box almost 5 years ago. So I bring the tulip into the house and I look at Sam's crate and all 4 original flowers are there, scrunched up, chewed up, whatever. This new tulip, untouched in perfect condition. Where did this duplicate come from? I swear I cannot explain this, and no one else has this toy that they forgot in my car or other explanation you can think of. I'm at a loss for words. So that's it, guys. Links to these stories are in the description. Go over to the original poster, give them that upvote, and tell them you saw it here first. And you can add to discussion over there as well as here in the comment section. We end with a duplication story. Now, I know this drawing looks kind of basic right now, but as things go on, I go deeper into it. There's going to be some painting and a lot of cool stuff here. Some of you may have already seen this, and if you've bought some of my books, you probably have the actual finished version of this in the book. So those of you who come here specifically to see the artwork, I think you're going to enjoy the finished version of this. I'm going to do it like I do my other stuff where you see it over time as I put these videos up. And I think I'm going to stick with Glitch in the Matrix right now. Also, another thing, there's 2 Glitch in the Matrix forms, and I've been spelling it wrong. So this will probably be the first video where I actually spell it right. So it's Glitch in the Matrix with the underscores. So yeah, there's that. And I didn't talk about it up front, but don't forget, guys, my comic book Hexcraft Mechanics. It's on Indiegogo. If you like action-based, paranormal, supernatural, urban fantasy, you like that kind of stuff, check out my book. Back my book. I think you're going to love it. I did add the $15 tier, so you don't have to back at $25. If you don't have $25, you can back at $15. And as you guys know, link is in the description, and I will check you guys later. Hasta.
Don't look back, we're here to stay. A life we knew would come one day. And this is it, the borderline to where the future leaves us behind. The fire will burn and never